everyone, welcome back to another episode of Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. I'm Jill.
And I'm Nick, and as always, we want to thank our sponsor, Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything.
So what do we have up today, Nick?
We're going to start with Mark's movie segment. What's new this week in movies, Mark?
Those people fighting over Marvel and DC are tearing me apart! Oh, hi viewers. Today I'm not only actor-director Tommy Wiseau of the intentionally funny cult classic The Room, but I'm also movie preview expert. And coming out this week is the movie about the making of my movie. It is called Disaster Artist. It stars James Franco as yours truly, and his brother Dave as my best friend Greg, who I love so much.
Well, why don't we just shoot in the real alleyway?
Because it's a real Hollywood movie.
No, yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Action!
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
But it doesn't work if you're looking at the camera.
And also coming out this week is Last Flag Flying, about 3 Vietnam War veterans starring Morpheus, Heisenberg, and 40-year-old virgin.
Okay, you want to play? Let's play.
Hey, move! Hey, you trying to get me killed? I will bury your ass.
Mueller has arrived!
Even though it is confidential, I have clip of movie coming out next year that will surely make studio bundles.
Have powers! Yeah, baby!
That is it for this week at the movies. But if Jill said I hit her, I did not.
Thank you, Mark. Now we're going to take it over to Brad with his Gadget segment.
Hey, it's the Bradcast with a public service announcement about gadgets. Do not buy junk boxes, and I'll tell you why. They got junk in them. And you're saying, but Bradcast, what kind of junk? I'll show you what kind of junk. See this little happy guy? This is for 2 people to share a plug-in with their headphones. Who plugs in with their headphones anymore? They don't, unless the junk box gives you plug-in headphones. What's that about? I don't even understand. What's this thing? A USB plug-in for a computer? What computer doesn't have a Wi-Fi anymore that needs a USB plug-in? And then there's this thing. It's not even wrapped. I don't even know what this is. There's no instructions. Well, you can press a couple of buttons. Hey, I got an idea.
Brad, what are you doing here? We're filming.
Hey, you got to finish your segment. What did that idiot do to us?
I can't get a signal.
Out of all the burger and beer joints, you walk into this one. Good call, because now you're face to face with the best burger you'll ever have. Handcrafted, locally sourced, and grilled to perfection. Bagger Dave's. Locals wanted.
Hey fellas, these Howie's specials with Cajun crust must be yours. So, where's the game?
There's no game.
Hungry Howie's, how may I help you? Yeah, I can't.
These guys again? Well, at least they don't have an air horn.
Flavor fanatics love us because we make our dough fresh daily and have meal deals for any budget.
Hungry?
Howie's! Flavor fanatics welcome.
I want a career in robotics and automation, so I chose Lawrence Tech for its first in Michigan robotics engineering program. LTU's brand new STEM complex has a robotics lab where we can design, build, and program robots in a creative atmosphere. And the best thing is, I haven't graduated yet, but I already have a job in my field. I know I made the right choice for my career. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
Hey, it's the Bradcast. Welcome back to Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. Joining me now is the Q.
What the hell did you do?
I did not do anything.
Give me that. We gotta bring Jill and Nick back.
I couldn't figure it out.
Well, go to the next segment.
Up next is me. I'm interviewing the cast members of the TV show Lost in Space.
Hey, it's the Bradcast, and I'm here at the East Coast Comic-Con, and I'm about to interview cast members from Lost in Space.
Feels good. It feels real good. It's always nice to get together with Mark and Marta and Angela.
Oh, it's always wonderful. We are family, you know.
The fans, meeting the fans and talking to them about Lost in Space. That's been always good.
They're great. It's fun to meet everybody that grew up with Lost in Space and doesn't seem to go away. It's great.
Re-experience the Lost in Space positive energy, although we're not wearing velours and turtle dickies, which is would probably make it that much cooler.
Yeah.
Well, as we speak, Angela Cartwright and I have our new book out, Lost and Found in Space.
There's a lot of experiences and memories from doing Lost in Space, so Bill and I wrote this together, and we kind of shared those experiences.
The second book is about the show, My 3 Years Lost in Space. They're both terrific reads, and you can get it through markgoddard.com.
And there's a new Netflix Lost in Space series debuting next year that I've had the pleasure of going up and seeing the production on that. So,
well, I'm excited to see it. I read the script. It's very, very good.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
But, you know, Netflix does a great job, so I think it'll probably be really awesome.
You know, I did a movie called Battle Beyond the Stars with Richard Thomas. I played the leader of my people, and so that's what I would like to do. I would like to be Judy Robinson in the future. And be a leader of a colony.
I think the tone of the new project is great. Okay, it's really a lot like what the first season of Lost in Space, done in modern times, could be.
Good job. Thank you. And now we're going to go to my segment where I had a chance to talk to the original Lieutenant Uhura. I'm here with the living legend herself, Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura. How's it going today?
It's going great. It couldn't be better.
One of my favorite stories you tell is about meeting Dr. Martin Luther King, and that was real huge for me.
Dr. Martin Luther King and I became very good friends because he came by and I discovered he was a Star Trek fan. He knew a lot of things that I had done and had been in and talked about them, and it was just amazing and wonderful, and I really enjoyed it, yeah.
So if they make another Star Trek movie, can we expect a cameo from Lieutenant Uhura to talk to the new Lieutenant Uhura in that one?
No.
You're not gonna make an appearance for us?
No, there's only one Uhura.
And that's you.
You're damn right.
So we were just talking about a Captain Uhura. So if they do that, will you be willing to send the captain's chair for us?
I'll consider it.
What's the stipulation got to be so I can get this started?
Get it started.
Okay, yes ma'am, I will do that. Thank you so much. This has been the Q from Comics Beer Sci-Fi. You know, Brad, that was one of my favorite interviews.
That's great, Q. And now, more me.
I'm here with Victor Jacob, and he is the proud owner of the first season robot from Lost in Space.
Was mostly built, but I converted it to the first season. So I bought it off a friend, then I had to rewire it, and then I basically had to convert it to first season. And that's all I did.
And that was a paint job that you did to convert it.
And here's the first season, so this is like from 1965.
We're here with the second family of space travel. How you guys liking the Comic-Con so far?
We love it. We just got to meet Bill Mooney and talk with him, get his autograph, and just tell him how much we love the show. We really,
it's a great chance to
I grew up watching it as a kid, and then she grew up watching it as a kid too.
Yeah, and I love it. I was indoctrinated too when I married him. So.
But when the movie came out, they made some of these costumes. They're really hard to find. And I collected them. And I got all three, so we could be the Robinsons. So did you? We're the Hermansons, not the Robinsons.
Yeah.
We're the Hermanson family.
Space Family Hermanson.
Very nice. I found yet another cosplayer here. This is Brendan Malarkey. Tell us about your costume, Brendan.
Well, basically, this is the second season Will Robinson uniform. I mean, it's a replica, obviously. The only difference is this is actually an old NCAA college shirt.
You'll never believe this, but we are sitting in the Lost in Space chariot with the owner, John Antonellis.
50th anniversary was 2015.
And I said to my guys, why don't we build it? So we reached out to 20th Century Fox and Space Productions, and they forwarded us all the original blueprints. It took us 7 months. We acquired a 1965 Thiokol Snowcat base, exact same model that the prop department built in '65. And it took us 7 months. We built the superstructure on top of it. Jimmy did all the mechanic work on the engine and restored that completely. This actually runs. So it is as screen accurate as you could possibly get.
I just had a great time interviewing all these people. We'll see you next time.
Great job, Brad. Thanks, Q. You know, maybe we should call this Comics, Brad, and Sci-Fi.
That's a great idea.
Let's go to commercial break so I can figure out how to get Jill and Nick back.
Oh, okay. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and we'll be right back.
I cannot believe you broke this.
I did not break it!
I want to be a dermatologist, and though a lot of universities tried to recruit me for basketball, Lawrence Tech had the science curriculum that I wanted. LTU's Southfield campus is a great place to learn, and the classes are small enough that I don't have to wait for office hours to talk to my professors. They're usually right by my side, challenging me and guiding me toward a successful future. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
Here's to the tradesmen, the service techs, the installers, the HVAC guys and women, the ones that work with their hands and take pride in keeping the rest of us comfortable. They succeed with hard work and don't have much respect for those that don't. They embody the grit of their city while quietly enjoying the American dream. Here's to the drink after work tasting even better, because they know it was earned. We don't frost brew our beer, and hot chicks won't appear if you drink it. Our beer doesn't come in a bow tie shaped can or need color indicators to tell you it's cold. It won't be delivered by Clydesdale horses, and to tell you the truth, we aren't the most interesting people in the world. Fact of the matter is, we don't tell stories. We just let our beer do the talking.
Hey, welcome back to Comics, Brad, and Sci-Fi.
I like what you guys are doing here. You guys are doing a pretty good job.
Thanks, Rich.
But you know there are segments that don't involve just the two of you.
There are?
Yeah, like Nick here talking to one of the stars of the TV show X-Files.
Roll that clip.
And we're here talking to great character actor William B. Davis, probably best known for playing the cigarette-smoking man on the X-Files, but he's also got a book that he's promoting. Sir, would you please tell us about your book?
Yeah, the book's called Where There's Smoke, ... But it's not just an X-Files book. It's really the story of my life. I didn't start on X-Files until I was in my 50s.
I actually did not audition for this part. Let's start with that. I auditioned for the senior FBI agent. And I didn't get that part. I got this other one that had no lines. And my friend, Ken Cameron, got the part with the 3 lines. We've laughed about that a lot over the years. I've laughed a little more than he has.
You started out in the theater, you say. When did you make the transition into television and film?
Well, I haven't totally made the transition into television and film. I still do a lot of theater. I direct theater more than I act in theater. Late 70s, I started doing just a bit of film and television. I was teaching acting. It was helpful. And then it just sort of grew.
You've done Stargate, you've done X-Files, you're kind of into the genre of fantasy and science fiction. Do you enjoy acting in these types of stories?
I enjoy acting, so it's sort of happenstance that it's become science fiction. I live in Vancouver, which is where a lot of science fiction is actually produced.
Did you always want to be an actor?
I had been acting as a child, and so I was doing it, but I thought I should really decide what to do with my life. So I interviewed various people in various professions. I still haven't made up my mind.
Well, take your time. We love you, and take as long as you need to.
Thanks, Nick. Q, did you know that X-Files has new episodes coming up in January?
No, I didn't know that. I think I'm gonna have to check those out.
While we're waiting, do we have another segment?
Actually, we do. Oh. Here's Joe with the Hollywood Car Minute.
Welcome to Hollywood Car Minute. I'm Joe Johnson, and I am joined by Mel Guthrie, and behind us we have Bumblebee. I'm sure you all know it, you all recognize it from the Transformers movies. Mel, what can you tell me about this beautiful car behind you?
Well, this is my most recent car.
So it's a Transformers Edition 2010 Camaro?
Yes.
They filmed many of the Transformers movies right here in the Metro Detroit area. And as a matter of fact, recently Mel had a pretty awesome experience while out driving Bumblebee. Tell me what happened.
The very first time I took this car out, lo and behold, right next to me pulls up a bunch of cars that were being used in the movie.
And imagine taking your Bumblebee out for a drive and you run into Optimus Prime. How cool is that?
It was amazing.
Thanks, Mel, and that'll wrap up this Hollywood Car Minute. I'm Joe Johnson.
Thanks, Joe. You know, that car is really more than meets the eye.
I think you're right. Now let's look at this week's comic book segment.
Hey, Comic Book Casey coming at you representing Comics Beer and Sci-Fi. We are once again with my boy Aaron here at Comic City in West Bloomfield. And we have other locations of Comic City that you need to check out: Trenton, Pontiac, and Canton. What do we have this week on our new book releases, Aaron?
Well, the first book we have is Mystic U. This one talks about Zatanna in her younger days when she's going to school for mystic arts. She's with Enchantress, Sargon the Sorcerer, and Faust. And Zatanna Zatara's under the tutelage of Rose Psychic.
Interestingly enough about Rose Psychic is this is a character older than Superman. We have a new one with Batman, right?
Yep, Batman Annual #2. It's about Batman and Catwoman on their first date.
First date or first time you arrested her?
A little bit of both. It's kind of where their romance and their rivalry started.
All right, well, it's not exactly Bonnie and Clyde, but I'll take it. I'm curious, though. You think their first date is going to be them in costume or as Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle?
I think it's going to be them, Catwoman and Batman, first meeting.
Okay, and next up we have another annual from DC. What do we have?
Okay, so this one's about Aquaman bringing humans and Atlanteans together to almost the kind of like an embassy of Crownspire.
We don't know who built Crownspire.
Nope.
So Aquaman's dream has come true, but it's got to be something that's going to happen bad in order to keep it an interesting story. Okay, and we have one more that we want to talk about that's very near and dear to us.
We got Doomsday Clock #1. It's the direct sequel to the 1985 classic by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons of Watchmen. It takes place a few years after the Watchmen ends. It shows that world as it is in turmoil after Warshak's Journal has been released.
And the thing that really turns me on about this particular book is one of my favorite all-time comic book writers, Jeff Johns, did it.
Gary Frank does the art, who's one of my personal favorite artists on that.
What I think a lot of us are hoping for is to see that crossover or that thing between Superman and Dr. Manhattan. Who would dominate? What do you think?
We found out recently that Dr. Manhattan is one responsible for the New 52 universe. What's up with the rings on your fingers?
Hey man, if that guy Steppenwolf ever comes back, I gotta have the right mojo ready for him, baby. Can't just be Batman alone.
But do you have the will?
So you read the Meadow issue, so I'm very worthy of doing Batman and a Green Lantern type of embodiment.
Well, talking about the metal, he went evil.
Well, I'm a Gemini, so that's possible.
That just means you got split personalities.
Man. See you next time on Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi.
Hey, it's time for another commercial break. Stay tuned for more Comics, Brad, and Sci-Fi.
Engage! Hey guys, you need to wear wigs and props. It elevates your performance, like mine.
It does?
Join the pop side with new Pop Chip Star Wars Galaxy Puffs, the perfect intergalactic treat for the Star Wars lover in all of us. These aged white cheddar pop puffs come in a variety of shapes, are gluten-free, non-GMO, and made with real cheese. Take your snacking into hyperspace. Find all of Pop Chip's great flavors in your local Kroger.
I want to blend my business education and athletic skills and open my own fitness center. At Lawrence Tech, I'm learning how to research, present, and to really think like an entrepreneur. And I love the small college feel here. where there's always something to do. We have men's and women's intercollegiate sports and dozens of student organizations. I can't wait to apply what I'm learning here in the real world. Lawrence Tech, possible is everything.
When every seat in the house looks like this, there are no bad seats. Pull up a chair and get face-to-face with the best burger you'll ever have. Bagger Dave's, locals wanted.
When you graduate from Northwestern Tech, heating and cooling companies take notice. And getting noticed is nice, but even better when it comes with respect.
With a demand for HVAC techs and the type of money you can make in this industry, skilled tradespeople are getting the respect that they deserve.
Hands-on training, experienced instructors, and thousands of Northwestern Tech graduates.
In just 10.5 months, you can have the career and the respect you deserve.
Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works.
Hey, welcome back to Comics, Brad, and Sci-Fi. Thanks for sticking around.
I think I figured this out.
You did?
Yeah, let's try it out.
Okay, let's try it. What did you do?
I just turned it off and on.
Huh. Hi, guys. They look like they need some time to recover.
Let's go to Samantha with video games.
Hey fellow gamers, this is Samantha with Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi, and this week we're going to talk about some sci-fi video games. This segment is brought to you by Lawrence Tech. First up is an intricate game called Portal. This game consists primarily of a series of puzzles that must be solved by teleporting the player's character and simple objects using the Aperture Science handheld portal device, a device that can create interspatial portals between two flat planes. To complete each puzzle using the portal gun with the promise of receiving cake when all the puzzles are completed. This game involves a lot of thought and patience, but it's definitely addicting. The second sci-fi video game this week is StarCraft. This was produced by Blizzard Entertainment, the same creators of World of Warcraft. This game revolves around 3 species: the Terrans, human exiles from Earth, the Zerg, a super species of assimilated life forms, and the Protoss, a technologically advanced species with vast mental powers. Wings of Liberty, the newest StarCraft available, focuses on the Terrans, while the expansions Heart of Swarm and Legacy of the Void focus on the Zerg and the Protoss. This game includes both new and returning characters and locations from the original game. During BlizzCon 2017, it was announced that StarCraft 2 would be rebranded as a free-to-play game going forward. Last but certainly not least is Borderlands. It's a space western science fantasy setting that really gets you intrigued and wanting to play more. This game features 4-player drop-in, drop-out cooperative online play in addition to single-player mode and 2-player split-screen co-op modes for consoles. A core feature of Borderlands is the loot system, which generates a variety of guns, shield generators, grenade modifications, and class modifications. This equipment is randomly dropped by foes, found in containers around Pandora, or obtained as rewards for completing quests. All 3 of the Borderlands games are available now. Thanks for watching. This has been Samantha with Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. Now let's go to Shannon, who sampled some awesome beer at Golden Apple Comic Book Store in LA.
This segment is sponsored by Bagger Dave's, a proud supporter of local craft beer. Stop in today for the best damn burger and beer.
I'm always trying to figure out different events to do in the store. We did a wine thing, and everybody likes to drink, right?
Oh yeah. So this is, I'm holding a piece of history
That's
here.
right. These are vintage. In our 15-year anniversary, I think it was, my brother and I went and actually did our first home brew. There was a place in LA where you can go and they have all the stuff. And we actually teamed up, this was pretty legit, we teamed up with these companies. So for example, this has Frank Miller artwork on it from Dark Horse's Sin City, and this was our Crimson Apple Ale. Everything was very relevant, Rolling Golden.
Yeah.
But again, Dark Horse sponsored it, so they helped pay for the beer and the label, Heavy Metal, and Kevin Eastman when he was owning it at that time, Wildstorm. So Jim Lee got into it with us. These are all people who've been customers for years. There's another one that has a very cool custom label. These are our buddies out of Arizona, a local brewery called Santan. but they started in Arizona. This is their Sunspot Golden Apple beer. It was for a DC sponsored party for when they launched Convergence. My buddy Mike over at Santan hooked us up with this label with Jim Lee's art, and Jim Lee was here, and Dan DiDio and Jeff Johns and everybody, and we drank this cool beer.
Can we drink some beer?
Sure. This one is a blonde.
Okay.
I'm actually starting with this because I was pretty confident, because this was, I feel, one of my more successful beers I ever made, because everybody likes IPA.
Everyone has
except
an IPA.
for me. It's pretty legit though, right?
It's hoppy, but it's balanced. The malts are there.
All right, we'll try my last one. This one is a raspberry dark.
You did a great job on this. I really
It's light
mean
though.
that.
It's super light.
This is such a great dessert beer because you get so
It
much
is.
raspberry and then it was a little bit of chocolate.
I tried different
some
stuff,
warmth.
but it's super
Good
light.
job, man.
Thank you.
I really
Thank you very much.
First time drinking in a comic book store. So, cheers.
Hopefully not the last. Cheers.
Wow, Shannon. Those beers look good, but not as good as you. And now, we're gonna go to my home video segment. The big new release of the week is Despicable Me 3, which finds Gru teaming up with his brother Drew. This is being released on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, and the 3-movie collection with the previous 2 movies.
Pignouf! Bueno? Pignouf! Bueno? Pignouf! Nous les pignoufs!
Did the Justice League not live up to your expectations? Then check out this Soviet superhero film, Guardians. This Russian blockbuster is far from a masterpiece, but it features a machine gun wielding man bear and all sorts of comic book mayhem. Ho ho ho! Christmas is around the corner, so that means we're getting a couple of holiday-themed horror films. Up first is the cult film from 1984, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Scream Factory's 2-disc collector's edition Blu-ray includes a new 4K scan and tons of new special features.
You've made it through Halloween. Now try and survive Christmas.
If that's a little gruesome for you, try Better Watch Out. Think of this one as a scary Home Alone. It's currently at 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's guaranteed to be frightfully fun.
You're home alone again? That's awesome!
Well, that's it for this week. And Jill and Nick, I'm glad you're back. But if you need to take next week off to recover, just let me know. I'll host the show. I got your back.
Thanks, Rich. Disappearing made me sick.
Yeah, I just hope our ratings didn't disappear. Thanks everyone for watching. We've reached the end of another episode of Comics, Beer, and Sci-Fi. We want to thank our sponsor, Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
You babbling bird brain.
You disreputable dunderhead.
You demented diode. You cumbersome clod.
You deplorable dummy.
You lead-line Lothario.
You preening popinjay. You incompetent imbecile.
You negligent ninny.
You gregarious gargoyle.
You jabbering Judith. You cackling cacophony.
All right, that's all.